What's going on YouTube? I am God is my source, aka Gems. And you might be thinking to yourself, I probably won't pronounce a G like that in a situation. Or my response is, I'm a grown man, I do what I want. Anybody get into some more music today? We have Disciple again, and this time we're gonna listen to the Daniel Complex. Alright, last song was hot, so let's get into this one.
Woke up, put on our two shoes, hit up the block, guards with us tighten and loose screws. On this day we get met with the dread. Soon as we come across this crowd with Nebuchadnezzar, he's like, you will do this. Soon as you hearing this music, you worshiping my statue. 60 and 6 cubits, otherwise my soldiers will grab you, you'll never take off. And the furnace, I throw you inside of a melt your face off. Long story short, we about to die. Dig me, and Neb even gave us one more chance. Biggie, but we still...
Okay, I just caught on to what's happening. So he's telling a story. And so this is the story of Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego. And he's talking as if he's one of them. And because he said my two dudes, so it was three of them, and then it's the story of them getting thrown into the furnace. That's hot. I just caught it because I'm like, okay, I see the story he's talking about. You mentioned Nebuchadnezzar. And throwing them into the furnace, but then I caught like, oh, he's one of them. That's hot. I like that. All right, let's go.
You ain't gonna spoil me. When it comes to God, an area we excelling in is loyalty. Neb tosses a sin, trying to be a war sender. Then he looks at our crew and notices a fourth member. When we come out of the fire, we not injured from one scratch, cause we belong to a God that is unmatched. Yo, we know this story, man. Pop culture got his rifle aimed at the church and they screaming at us, no, bow down or get down. Yo, but just like those three courageous young men, God is calling his church to take a stand and be the light right now, in hopes that our homes, our hoods, and our schools might experience Jesus. And yeah, there'll be some persecution along the way, but God is faithful.
I kind of like songs like this. So it's not no real hook, but he's basically preaching through the hook. I've heard other songs like this. I think I reacted to it on this channel. Truth by Lecrae was another song like this, where it's not a real hook, but he dropping that knowledge during the hook or whatever. I like songs like that.
When you drive for the government, cats will snatch up your shine and they loving it, especially when you ain't blind to your covenant. These cats know they not getting me for conspiracy, so they use my faith against me so they could flip it. Beat the God I'm serving was never furious with me though. They got me arrested by stroking Darius's ego, cause I pray to the God that is everywhere. They threw me to some lions that made Mufasa look like a tank bear. The so-called kings of the jungle, they wouldn't eat, and Darius knew my innocence, so we couldn't sleep. In the morning he came and got me, was surprised to see me alive. Angels carried me, wouldn't drop me.
Okay, so now he's talking about the story of Daniel, and I don't know, I feel like everybody knows these stories, and that's why I didn't really go deep into it in the first verse, but just in case, I probably shouldn't assume, right? So the story of the first verse, you got Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego. These three guys were they believed in God. They're believers, and Nebuchadnezzar wanted them to worship either his gods or him, whatever the case may be. You weren't allowed to worship God, so he threw them into a furnace. This is one of the ways they would kill people in that time or whatever. There's this big furnace or whatever, you throw people in there, destroy them, whatever. So this furnace was incredibly high. I think they even turned the heat up for them three dudes, and it was so hot that the people that threw them in, they died from the heat. It was crazy. So they get thrown into the furnace, and as they're walking, somebody that under the king was like, didn't we throw three dudes in there? And he was like, yeah. And he's like, well, I see four dudes walking, and one of them looks like as if he's a son of God or something to that effect. So that's why he mentioned that part in the first verse, when he said, it's four of them walking and whatever. and they were protected. They walked through the furnace, and they came out alive. God protected them. That's that story, quick, fast, and in a hurry. Now we get to the second verse, talking about Daniel getting thrown into the lion's den. Now, story of Daniel. So Daniel was a believer. He always prayed, and that type of thing. He, steadfast and everything. I believe Daniel, he was I forgot, a food bearer, I think, or drink bearer. I forgot the title. Basically, he tasted the food before the king would eat his food. Like, Daniel had to taste it first, make sure he wasn't getting poisoned. So anyway, there was these dudes, and now Daniel had favor with the king or whatever. The king wanted to make sure he's good, because that's the guy tasting his food and stuff like that. So anyway, these other guys were jealous of Daniel, and they wanted to get rid of him. So basically, they got the king to make it so that you could only worship their God, or the case, because they never gave Daniel a problem for worshiping, the true God. So anyway, the king makes this decree, and then Daniel, he ain't about to worship no idols for nobody, and he don't care who knows about it. So he prays, open up his window so everybody can see him and hear him, all that type of stuff, and he's praying or whatever. So anyway, king doesn't even want to do it, but he made the decree, so gotta punish him. And Daniel gets thrown into the lion's den. Lion doesn't eat him. Lion doesn't attack him. Don't do anything. It's like he's not even there. So then, so Daniel comes out alive, and then the king throws some other dudes that was trying to set Daniel up into the lion's den, and they get savaged. But we didn't get to that. I don't know if he's gonna mention that in the verse.
He said, I'm glad to see that your God protected you. Amazing, cause my lions will snap a neck in two. Now the Lord's to pray to the God that blesses you. The cast that sets you up, I'm throwing them to the wrecking crew. See, Daniel chapter 6 called all of us to the carpet, man. It makes us ask ourselves this question. Yo, what is this Christian life really all about? Is it about upward mobility? Is it about getting the corner office, the biggest house, the dopest whip, the baddest spouse? See, Daniel, when faced with the option of upward mobility versus faithfulness to God, he chose the latter, and I pray, when faced with the same temptation, we'll do the same. From somebody who's been in this situation more than once. If I ain't trust the Lord, believe me, my corpse was slumped. Mistaken identity caused the shooter to toss and dump, so I had no choice but to run like Forrest Gump. Since I'm running with Christ, brethren, people like testing, from attacking my character to having my life threatened. But I stay representing Jesus through mic checking, and on stage I'm trying to please him despite pressing. This is more than enough to get Satan heated, but with Jesus ain't no way depleted. Devils can stay defeated. Take example from Shad, Meshach, and Abednego. Death lets me go, giving Satan a stressed ego. God protects in the middle of any danger, lifting you out of the clutches of any stranger. I know people disagree with me, they ain't hearing me. If I gotta get killed for my faith, I'm prepared to be. Yo, what up, church? See, when we look back, we're thankful for the prophets who courageously spilled their blood, pointing Israel towards.
So that last verse, and just in case anybody couldn't tell, that was about himself, his real self. So no Bible story right there.
The Messiah. We look at the apostles and we applaud the fact that they courageously established the church. We look over the first few centuries of church history and we hand clap for our church mothers and church fathers who canonized the gospels and the letters, who through their testimony we now know about Jesus. Yo, but now it's our time. It's 2015. It's time for the church to run its leg in a race. And so, Boston, I'm hollering at you. I'm asking you, yo, what we...
Okay, I think he's about to just talk the rest of that out. This song is good. I like this one more than the last one, actually. I definitely like the the knowledge through the hook, like the Bible stories. Yeah, it was a hot song. Beat was hot. It seems to be good at picking out beats. But this is only 2 songs. Let me know how you felt about it in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share, all that stuff. Get this music out there. Let people know that good music still exists. All right, guys. Be blessed.